Hello everyone, it's Aria and welcome back to my channel. This is actually the second time of recording this video because the first time I actually did not explain myself very well at all, and there's kind of a reason for that. I'm not going to go too much into it because it's really hard to talk about, but I had every intention of taking a week-long break, which was last week, and then coming back and recording videos and dimming my schedule down to Baldi's Basics and Transformers Prime, and not having really a specific uploading schedule, just kind of doing whatever I felt like on whatever day. So you could have an entire week of TFP or an entire week of Baldi's Basics, just depending on what I would do, what I felt like doing that week. However, my family has been kind of hit with some really devastating news over the last couple days. I'm not going to get into it. I mean, everything is kind of okay right now as of recording this. But it's still something that my family is worrying about, and it's over our heads, and it's just I just don't feel like talking about it. And this is the first time I've ever really not felt like talking about something. I don't typically feel like talking about this right now. So in light of this situation where I don't necessarily feel like making ASMR content because I myself am trying to get over something that's making me very anxious, I thought I would go ahead and do something that would be really fun for us, especially us Baldi's Basics fans, because I want to actually see what grade you would get with how many questions you get wrong in Baldi's Basics Classic. I emphasize Classic because in Baldi's Basics Plus, unless you're an idiot and pick up the wrong number for the math machine, you don't get any questions wrong. You actually get all the questions right in Baldi's Basics Plus. It's just that with each notebook you get, Baldi gets progressively faster. That's the case in Baldi's Basics Classic, but the reason this is so different is because, if anyone who knows the game is watching this, you know that for the first notebook out of 7 notebooks you collect in the game, there is a you can think pad, just like with every notebook. The difference between this first notebook and every other notebook to follow, however, is that you actually can get all 3 questions correct. After this, Baldi will give you a prize, which is typically a shiny quarter. Actually, that's always what it is. It's never not a shiny quarter, except in Birthday Bash, which is an actual official update by Miss Man12, which I love. I freaking love that update so much. I wish I could play it, but I can't find it. If somebody knows where to find it, let me know. Anyway, with each preceding notebook after the first notebook, you actually get the You Can Think pad, but the difference here is you get the first 2 questions right, and then the third question is inevitably, as the frustrated gamer calls it, gobbledygook. And so, essentially, you cannot answer this question correctly. Now, I do not know if entering the placeholder code that takes you to Placeface's room and then exiting that room allows you to get the question correct, because I've never actually entered in that code myself, and I've never seen any Let's Players actually exit the Placeface room. In fact, I don't know if that's actually possible because, like I said, I've never actually entered in the code. I finally have Baldi's Basics Classic on my computer. It's just, well, I got it right around this time of just devastation. So, anyway, so inevitably you're always going to get this gobbledygook question wrong. No matter what it is, no matter what is going on, you're always going to get it wrong, and it's really frustrating. So, because you always get it wrong, you're never going to get a perfect score, and with each problem you get wrong, the ruler slaps that Baldi uses to teleport closer to you get progressively faster, to which point by the time you get 7 notebooks, if you can, Baldi is much faster than you, and the only way you can really escape him is running or getting miraculously pushed in the right direction by Sweep, or pushed by First Prize to where you need to go. It's a very, very difficult game to play, but it's also a very fun game to play with really, really interesting characters. My favorite, of course, being First Prize. Second favorite is Playtime, by the way, in case anyone was wondering. Today, however, we're going to actually calculate whether Baldi's anger is worth it. If Baldi is getting too angry at his students, or whether we're actually failing and Baldi is justified in his anger. Now, spoiler alert, I actually do know the grade that you get because, like I said, this is take 2 of this. I just did not explain myself very well in take 1, so I felt like I needed to redo it. So here we are in the calculator of my phone, which, by the way, I got the new Android 11 update today, and let me just say I'm absolutely loving it. It's trying to copy Apple, which, I mean, the Apple users may or may not be happy about. If they have an Android device, it might be easier for them. And there's me yawning, because that's what I do in my videos, apparently, is yawn like a madman. Okay, so we've got our calculator. Now, here's the thing, is that you get 3 questions for every notebook, and there are 7 notebooks. So the way we calculate the total of questions in Baldi's Basics is we go 3 for the number of questions for each notebook times 7 for the 7 notebooks. And then answer equivalents to 21. Now, if you think about this, because there are 3 questions that you get right in the first notebook, but you only ever get 2 questions right for each preceding notebook, you get 1 question wrong each time. 1 times 6 notebooks that you get that question wrong for is 6. So to figure out how many questions you get right, you do 21 minus 6. Pretty straightforward. It's 15. I didn't need to do that, but I was just kind of showing you how this works and flows with everything. Now, this is where it gets a little more complicated. I know a lot of my viewers are young, or at least some of you are pretty young, just based on the comments. No offense to anyone who, writes badly or doesn't speak English. It's just an observation I've noticed from some people. So let me teach you how to calculate the percentage, and this is really going to help you if you have an assignment where there's a certain amount of points, but it doesn't exactly equivalent to 100. So you need to know what grade you got. So say you got 15 out of 21, aka Baldi's Basics. Well, that's obvious. That's 15 over 21. And then the way you set this up is 15 over 21 equals to x over 100. This x being the grade that you're going to get, the percentage that you're going to get in Baldi's Basics at the time of collecting 7 notebooks. Okay, really simple, really easy. This is going to determine Baldi's kind of anger at you and whether he's a good teacher or not. Well, I mean, he's really not a good teacher if he's just going to get angry at you for nothing. But I digress. So you've got 15 over 21 equals x over 100. Now what you would do is you would cross multiply, otherwise known as the fish method. A lot of mathematicians hate this for some reason, and I really don't understand why. Because it's actually quite effective at being able to calculate percentages, but a lot of them want you to use algebra, and it's really not the best thing in the world. Just use a calculator, that's what it's there for. So what you're going to do is cross multiply and go 15, which we have up here, times 100. So that's 1, 0, 0. There we go. That's obviously 1,500 or 1,500. That's pretty obvious. That's pretty simple. Now, what you would do here is you would go 1,500 divided by 21. Because remember, 21 is the total amount of questions you got, right? So if we go here, you can see the answer is 71.4285714286. So 71.4, that would round down to a 71. So you got a C on your math test. If you were taking this as a physical math test and Baldi got angrier for every question you got wrong, the 6 out of 21 that you got wrong, then you would have very easily gotten a 70 or 71, which equivalents to a C. Is Baldi's anger justified? Not really, because I don't think any anger from a teacher is justified at failure at students. I think it's more a case of sadness and coming to an understanding and just coming to an agreement. Now, is there a way to get a direct A in Baldi's Basics? Let's try to figure that out. So, obviously, if you only ever get one notebook, if you get 3 out of 3 questions, then yeah, you're gonna get you're gonna get a nice easy A. But the thing is, unless you have to like go eat dinner and something and you like hit the quit button, you're never gonna get that easy A, because it's not like Baldi jump scares you after the first notebook. It's only after the second notebook that Baldi's able to jump scare you if you don't really know what to do and you're just a brand new player that doesn't know that you need to run away from Baldi, not stay in the classroom and hide, TFG and MatPat. Seriously, why do people think that's a good idea? I don't understand. If Baldi's coming towards you, move! Anyway, just pet peeves of mine. As a strangely OG Baldi's Basics fan, I'm still coming to terms with that. It's just, holy shit. Alright, so moving on. Say you get caught directly after the second notebook. That would mean that you answered a total of 5 questions and you got 4 of them right. So that's 4 out of 5. So we're going to do our same method here. Let's clear this. Very easy. So 4 times 100 is obviously 400. What's 400 divided by 5? 400 divided by 5. Okay. That is an 80, if you can believe that. That is an 80. So that makes sense because 40 divided by 5 is 8, right? So you managed to get a B. All right, let's clear this. We're going to calculate this for every single scenario and see if we can't get a nice A. All right, so let's say you take TFG's route. You've gone to the left once you've gotten the second notebook. You've gone through the hallway, the long one. You've gotten the yellow door lock out of the faculty room. The principal hasn't given you detention. You get to that first notebook that's in the long hallway. You answer that question, and then immediately afterwards, you get the safety scissors to cut Playtime's jump rope, and immediately you turn around and Baldi jump scares you. That has actually happened to players. It happened to me when I tried to play Classic on mobile, because playing on mobile sucks. And actually, Plus versus Classic, the playing interface is much better for Plus because you can actually move faster, and you don't feel like a snail. Anyway, this would mean that you have answered a total of, 3. Guys, I'm an idiot. On the second notebook, you wouldn't have gotten 4 out of 5. You would have gotten 5 out of 6. Okay, let's do this again. So, 5, no, not 8. Goodness. Can I get back to my numbers? There we go. Okay. So we're going to go 500 divided by 6. So to give you an idea, this is my miscalculation from the second notebook. You answer a total of 6 questions, and you got 5 of them right because you got that one question wrong. You still only get an 83. That is surprising to me. I actually thought it would have been a much higher number than that, but you still only get an 83. So I have to remember, with my kind of anxious brain, that you answer 3 questions each time you get a notebook, not 2, and you get 2 right, not 1, or not 3. So with that, the second notebook you get, say you get jump scared right after that, then you would get an 83. I'm just doing this because I feel like we all need a distraction from the fact that it's 2021, but COVID isn't gone yet. I want to do things with my life. Help! Sorry. Okay, so say you've gotten that third notebook. You've answered a total of 9 questions. You've gotten 7 of those 9 right. Your odds go down, right? So 7 of 9. So that's easy. 700 divided by 9. Your answer is 77. So at the third notebook, you guys, you've answered 9 questions. You've only gotten 7 of them right. You get a 77. How crazy is that? I can't help but feel like that number is not exponentially per se, but it is going to continue to go down. Literally, the highest grade you can get is a B. So Baldi is disregarding any AUs, certain someone who's watching this. Baldi is a very unfair teacher. If literally the highest grade you can get is a B. I just want to see what happens if you get 6 out of the 7 notebooks and you get caught by Baldi. So hang on, you would have answered a total of 18 questions, and 18 minus 5 is 13. Wait, what? You got 6 notebooks. You've gotten 5 questions wrong. 6 times 3 is 18. Then why did we get... What? Guys, I am so confused. 18 minus 5 is 13. So, it's 1,300 divided by 18, I think. Alright, let's see. 1, 3, 0, 0 divided by 18. Okay, I knew there was something wrong with my math. Hold on a second, you guys. So with 6 notebooks, he would have only answered 18 questions. The first one you got right, so that's 3. 3 plus 2 is 5. Plus 2 is 7. Wait, hang on. 3 plus 2 is 5. Plus 2 is 7. Plus 2 is 9. Plus 2 is 11. Plus 2 is 13. Yeah, that's right. So given your odds, you actually get a lower grade when you get 6 out of 7 notebooks than if you get 7 out of 7 notebooks. Now here's the thing. If you're calculating this by direct total, you're still going to get a low grade, and here's why. Because the total of questions you would have answered is 21. The amount you can get right, the highest amount you can get right, is 14 questions. No, 15 questions. The highest amount of questions you can get right is 15 questions throughout the entirety of Baldi's Basics Classic. But say you only get 6 out of 7 notebooks. If the grade is calculated by this many questions out of 21, not out of however many questions you actually answered, that's even more unfair. Let me show you why. So say you have answered a total of 18 questions. You would have only gotten 13 questions right. Here's the thing. Wait, that's still not right. Hang on. So if you got 3 notebooks, or 3 questions per notebook, so it's 3, 6, 9, 12, no. 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13 out of 21 now. It's 13 out of 21, which makes sense because 13 and 15... Okay, alright, so these numbers did make sense for what I was trying to do. So 13 out of 21. 1,300 divided by 21. Let's see what that gives us. Did I randomly type something? Okay, no, I didn't. 1,300 divided by 21. You would get a 61% if your grade was calculated by the total number of questions that are in the game versus how many you were able to answer. You actually would have gotten a worse grade. But Baldi wouldn't be as fast because he only gets angrier for the number of problems you get wrong not the grade you get. What is the logic in Baldi's Basics? Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all are having a better night than I am, honestly. My night was okay. Like, my entire day as a whole is okay. It's just, we have this situation of ours looming over our heads. But I hope you had some fun with me. I hope you guys got as lost as I did. If you guys have your own theories as to whether, by the end of the game, when you strike out, if it's total number of questions or the total number of questions you answered, please let me know, because I'd love to hear it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're having an awesome day. If speaking your truth is somebody else's deception, then may you always be gladly guilty. Till all are one, and the ruler rules you. Bye, guys.